Welcome back to Celluloid Psychosis. I'm your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me as always is the very British, very handsome Mr. Paul Ashford. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, how's it going? I'm good. I've had a good week. Should we talk week? Should we talk what we've done in the last week?
Yes, let's
Yeah,
start it
man.
off, bud.
I've had some new pickups. I ended up going for RoboCop 2 on 4K.
Excellent.
Um, got it imported through Amazon. That's turned up. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm super excited to watch it, and I'm gonna watch it with the girlfriend as well because she really enjoyed the first RoboCop. Um, I've just picked up also Mega Force, but they're talking of the Atari 2600 game, which I've never played, but I'm a huge fan of the movie. Huge fan of the movie. And I did recently pick up an Atari 7800, so I know it's going to work on that. And it was cool to finally find one because I've had a save search for ages on eBay for a nice box copy. One popped up real cheap, so I snapped it up. Other than that, I've been watching loads of films as always. I just started going through my Species collection box set that I picked
How
up.
is it?
Yeah, really good. I only watched the first one so far, but the transfer is great. I love the whole box set. It's really solid. 88 films. I tricked a girlfriend. I told her it was alien free. She believed me, and we watched the whole film. She didn't question it the whole way through. She just saw the HR Giga in the credits at the start and believed me. But she enjoyed it, even with all the nudity. She enjoyed it. So yeah, it's a good film. Other than that, had some amazing Mexican food Sunday. Went out in town, in our local town. We had a third time we've been there now. Really good food. But yeah, man, it's all good. How about yourself?
Man, the same as you with these movies. I've been watching a ton of film, and I got a couple movies in here, and we'll talk
Mm-hmm.
about one of them is actually my recommendation this week. We've talked about it in previous episodes, so it's probably
Mm-hmm.
not really that much of a surprise once we get into that part. But anyway, I got that Skeleton Key release that I ordered from Umbrella, and it finally came.
Nice.
Is that no Imprint? Sorry, not Umbrella,
Mm-hmm.
and that's premium shit, dude. That is some
Nice.
premium stuff. I also
Mm-hmm.
got Dario Argento's Dark Glasses, the Blu-ray in. I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't have that one for whatever reason. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's definitely a return to form for Argento. And
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that the dog's a hero. Spoiler alert. Anyway, have you seen that one, Paul?
I have not. I
Oh,
have not.
it's fucking great.
I'm behind on his modern stuff, to be fair, or recent
Well,
stuff, shall we say?
maybe we'll change that.
Yeah, it would be a good episode. I'd be all over that.
Speaking of good episodes, this is going to be a doozy. Let's start things off with the Physical Media Roundup. Yahoo! So, Criterion coming in hot. And I think this came out in the last couple of days, like as of recording. Today is 7/16/2024, all that stuff. Anyway, Criterion announced Gummo in 4K. We'll probably use it as the title for this episode, but that's exciting. Paul and I've never seen the movie.
No.
We've heard about it. We've seen screenshots. We've seen the posts. Everybody's like, Gummo, 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 Gummo here, Gummo there. And now Criterion delivers the goods with a proper 4K presentation. Paul, thoughts?
Yeah, it looks good. It's created a massive buzz online, and suddenly I really want to see it. I remember when the film came out years ago on VHS, had this sort of a strange cover of a kid with like bunny ears, but I never actually watched it. So I'm looking forward to this one. It's got really good artwork, really cool artwork as always from Criterion. So yeah, just literally the buzz alone makes me want to go and see this film now. It's all over Facebook, Instagram. People are talking about it, and I'm like, I think I must have missed a classic here. What about you?
It's kind of like it slipped through my fingers, and I might have also been hard to watch prior to this announcement, so that could have also contributed. It's just never something I was like, I'm gonna sit down and watch Gummo today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So also we are getting Pandora's Box, Demon Pawn in 4K. Yeah. I Walked with a Zombie in the Seventh Victim.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
That's old 50s films. I Walked with a Zombie in the Seventh Victim. That's a double set. Pandora's Box just kind of makes me think about Ghoulies Go to College. because obviously Pandora's box is what they talk about in the movie with Professor Ragnar. Uh,
Mm,
yeah, so yeah, these other than Gummo, I haven't really heard of the other three films. I Walked for Zombie, I do remember it's an old black and white movie, but
mm.
yeah, four films that I've never seen. But like I said, Gummo for me is going to be an interesting one because purely because everyone's talking about it.
Is there TV on in the background?
No, it's the birds.
Oh, you have birds.
I
Okay.
tried. I was going to type, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to
Oh.
make tappy tap noises. But yeah,
So,
I've got birds outside my window.
audio listeners, we apologize for the birds. Uh,
Hopefully,
fucking A.
Alfred Hitchcock isn't out there. But
It
yeah, I
is,
can hear
yes.
him.
This is, The Birds 3,
Yeah,
Paul's End.
Birdemic.
The Birdemic, yes. Paul, take away with Severed.
Oh, this one's super exciting.
Yes.
Severin films. I mean, they've just been knocking it out of the park recently, especially for the films that we really enjoy. And our last news episode, I was making you jealous. You got a bit pissy because there was a German release, a couple of German releases, some Dario Argento stuff.
Yes.
But I take it all back because we've got two big Argento releases coming from Severin. We have Opera in
Mm.
4K, which is huge.
Yes.
And that's going to be a 5 disc edition. That's going to be,
5.
yeah.
So
So,
one would assume we're getting multiple cuts.
yep.
We're getting a Blu-ray for special features and then a CD for audio because it's
Yeah.
Severn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's going to be massive. And I'm definitely grabbing that one.
Yeah.
There was a German release from, I don't know, a year ago or so, but for some crazy reason, there was no Italian. Oh, I forgot what was missing. There was something killer that was no good.
Ronin Flix did a Opera limited edition Blu-ray that was like my white whale for the longest time, and
Yeah.
people kind of put it up on eBay, but it was like over $100 by
Yeah.
the time I
It's one of
saw it.
those sort of films that just goes for
Yeah.
so much money online. But there was a German release, and I think they missed out the Italian audio, or there was no English
Mm.
subtitles, one or the other. So it was a no go for any English speaking people.
I
So
pre-ordered it, so
yeah,
yeah,
I don't think I can pre-order from Severin. I
you
usually get
can't.
mine from a UK supplier. So as soon as it's available, I'll be snapping one of those up, just like I did with their Michelle Suave
Does
films.
Are you able to purchase through Diabolic DVD?
I think so. I think they're American, aren't they? So I think they'd still ship from the US. But I
Mhm.
use Treasured Films. They
Mm.
when they get it in, they ship from the UK. So that's where I got the last Severin stuff from, in the sect, the church, and what was the other one I picked up? I've picked up 3 Severin movies: the sect, the church. Oh, of course, Della Morte, Della
Cemetery Man.
More,
Yeah.
Cemetery Man. Yeah, and all 3 of those releases were incredible. So
Michele Soave.
without a doubt, I will be picking up Opera.
Yeah.
Uh, Also coming from Severin Films, Dario Argento's Deep Cuts.
His TV
Uh,
show.
yeah, a
Mhm.
4-disc Blu-ray edition, and I've never seen that. I've never seen an
Well, I
episode of that.
believe this to be the US debut.
Yeah, no
Mhm.
doubt, no doubt. So yeah, 2 huge Dario Argento releases. Interesting in that the last episode we talked about another TV show of his, Masters of Horror, and here we go. It must be
I'm
Argento
happy
season. Yeah,
that, like,
definitely.
Arrow got all his early films, and then Severin
Yeah.
and Vinegar Syndrome are just like, "We'll take the rest."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe in 2 weeks' time we'll be talking about a Three Mothers trilogy
What
coming to
I'd like
4K.
to
Who
see is
knows?
Severin do a physical release of Argento's Masters of Horror films,
Yeah,
Peltz and Jennifer.
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool because they came out on Blu-ray, didn't they? Originally,
Yes.
all together though, all the episodes, wasn't it? Yeah, what a show! I haven't seen that for a long time. Uh, but finally, from Severin Films, we also have 2020 Texas Gladiators making its 4K debut. And just add that to the massive list of films I would never ever expect to see in 4K.
Yeah.
It's like an Italian exploitation or kind of, I want to say Mad Max knockoff, but that's probably,
Mhm.
yeah, one
No,
of those kind
you're
of films.
right. They
Yeah,
did a
yeah,
lot of those.
a lot of that. I love them as well.
Mhm.
I love all those films. I've seen this one. It goes under probably 5, 6, 7 other different titles, but I know it is 2020 Texas Gladiators. So if I find that for a good price, I reckon I could snap that one up. So yeah, 3 big releases from Severin. And one, shall I talk about our next one?
Yeah.
I'll hand back to you. So, Nameless Media. Again, we're going to Germany because I like Germany. I like German releases. But for me, this is huge. So, Nameless Media, they are releasing Zombie in 4K. So, I'm sure all US fans have already got Zombie in 4K, the Blue Underground release. I have not. It's never been released in Europe or the UK. So, this is a European
Oh, I didn't know that.
premiere, 4K premiere of Zombie. It goes under the name of Voodoo in Germany, which is kind of funny. But I know it's Zombie Flesh Eaters because I'm British, but everyone calls it Zombie, so that's fine. I'll
If
stick with Zombie.
you are in the zombie mood and you
Hmm.
have the option, Lucio
Yeah,
Fulci's Zombie or George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, what are you putting in?
that's so difficult. I love them both so much. I can't help but think in my head that I don't know because Zombie. Dawn, everyone knows Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead
Yeah.
is the classic. It's probably the better movie. But don't know, something Zombie for me was just massive. Like when I was a kid, it was a video nasty. It was the most
Mhm.
sought after film I wanted to see. The zombies are real. It's like a tropical island. It's like they are real zombies shuffling
Yeah.
around. Um, I wouldn't want to answer that question. I would watch. They're probably on equal terms for me. They're just two huge zombie films.
Yeah.
But yeah, not only are we getting it in 4K, it's coming in a media book release, and you know I love my
How
media
many
book.
versions though, Paul? How many versions?
6 different releases. 6 different. You've got a plethora of artwork to choose from because
Uh-huh.
they do love all these multiple releases. Not only is there 6 releases with 6 different artworks, they're
Insane.
also doing a bust edition. So what we're talking about here is like a giant bust of a zombie head. And I believe
Mhm.
the media book will fit into the back of that like it normally does with the nameless releases.
The cover
Um,
zombie, that weird bloated
no, it's not the
No?
cover zombie. They are going for boat zombie. So
Oh,
the big guy. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the
they're
bloated
going
like the
different,
bloated looking
obviously.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, the bloated looking one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, details are quite scarce at the moment. There's no release date. There's no pre-order as of yet, but they've been previewing it through the Nameless website, through the Facebook, through their social medias. There is some physical copies in hand of the bust already, and people have been showing them off on YouTube. I guess some lucky people have got hold of some somehow to promote. It looks super cool,
Mm,
as do all of their busts. If you ever
mhm.
get a Nameless Media bust, it's a good quality release. So yeah, for me this is huge. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to get the bust or just go for a media book, but either way, I'll be getting one of those releases. But it depends on the price. Obviously, importing from Germany, a big bust can be quite expensive.
Yes.
Um, but at the very least, I'll be grabbing one of those media books. And yeah, super excited. Super excited.
So this week we got a whole slew of cool announcements from the major studios. So starting with Paramount
Hmm.
Home Media, Stephen King's The Stand 30th anniversary steelbook has been announced. It looks great. It looks
Yep.
loaded. The art's great.
Hmm.
And some consider this to be the best version of The Stand. I
Hmm.
mean, whatever you're into. Uh, I've never seen it the whole way through. Paul, have you seen
No,
it the whole way through?
no, not the whole way through. I've seen episodes of it on
Mm.
VHS. It makes me feel really old. I remember when it came out. So to say 30th anniversary is just like, oh man. I remember when that came out.
Yeah. And the next one from Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, it Body Double, Brian De
Hmm.
Palma's Body Double in 4K. Now,
4K, yeah.
previously, Sony did offer a standard Blu-ray of this movie, but it was
Hmm.
DVD-R. So they were like made to order, right?
Right.
Very strange,
Hmm.
very weird. And I actually own one of those. So this will be a
Okay.
nice
Upgrade.
upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at making sure. I was like, Criterion didn't do Body Double. Indicator Films, I think, has a Body Double release in the
Hmm.
UK. That's Blu-ray, but this 4K release, I hope, is high quality, and Sony's not going to skimp out on this
Let's hope
stuff.
not.
And the next one is a movie Paul and I haven't seen in a very long time.
No.
From 101 Films, we are getting Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, that will release on August 5th.
Mm, interesting.
Yes.
Animated movies from our childhood or from that era. Yeah, cool. It's an interesting release from 101 Films. I guess
Mhm.
they're kind of going for a bit of a different market there, different audience.
Why not?
But yeah, why not? Yeah, go
Seven's
for it.
released kids films, so
Yeah, I mean, 88 films. They've still got American Pie on the slate as well, which I think is a real strange one for them to release.
hmm.
Slight delay on that one, but if there's a 4K release coming, so yeah, hey, who knows?
Next up from Raro Video, we have Madness from 1980, directed by Fernando Di Leo. I have several Raro Video titles. They are
Hmm.
fantastic. I want to say they are somehow connected to Kino Lorber because I've bought from the Kino Lorber site, like Raro Video stuff.
Hmm.
So, yeah, Fernando Di Leo, great director. Definitely would
Yeah.
recommend going up and picking up this title. Raro Video brings the goods, and their slipcases are premium looking. Paul, talk about the next one.
Well, we talked about the buzz that from Gummo. This is another big buzz that's hit
Huge.
online. Yeah, so Second Sight Films, good old UK, are releasing The Hitcher in 4K, and we're talking 4K limited edition, nice box set. I don't know how many
Massive.
discs, unless you do,
Mm.
but this is going to be huge. It's a 4K premiere as well.
The
Obviously, The
notes are
Hitcher,
clickable.
yeah. Oh, are they? Oh. The Hitcher, obviously, big genre film, Rutger Hauer, and again, this has created a massive buzz online in the
And
community.
there's a ton of new features.
Hmm.
And we are getting an Atmos audio track in
Yeah,
Dolby Vision and HDR.
so they're going to town on this one, and this will sell out. I mean, the Second Sight releases always sell out. The limited editions they always sell
Mhm.
out. If you trying to pick up any of their ones that have sold out, you just paying
And it's
scalper prices on
completely
eBay.
region free, Blu-ray
Yeah,
and 4K.
yeah. So what's not to love? That's gonna be huge. Have you pre-ordered that one yet? Nah, nor have I. Nor have I. I probably should, to be fair, because it will sell out.
Yeah.
I missed out on their Texas Chainsaw edition they did, um, and I just see it go for silly money now on eBay. Um, I need to upgrade my Texas Chainsaw. I've got the very original 4K that came out
I have
before
every
4K was.
movie but the first
Yeah.
one.
I've got the first 4K edition that ever came out before HDR was a thing, so it's real old.
You don't have TCM2, the Vinegar Syndrome release, do you?
No, I've got the Arrow Blu-ray, the nice box set
Ah,
one.
yes.
But I would like a 4K of that one because TCM2 is probably my favorite of the whole series. I'll
Yeah.
be honest, even better than the first in my mind. And it was the first one I saw out of them as well as a kid. Part two
Mm.
was the first one I saw. Obviously, they were all banned in the UK back then. Anything with the word chainsaw was banned as well. Crazy times. But yeah, I watched part two before I watched part one, and the two films could not be any different.
One day we'll do the next generation and I'll defend it. So,
Yeah,
uh
that's cool.
yeah.
It's got its fans. Yeah.
Next up from Warner Brothers. They
Yeah,
are so I want to say they did a Blu-ray release that's very similar to this not long ago. But
right.
they are doing a 4K of Batman's 85th anniversary 10 animated film collection in 4K. That will include Batman Mask of the Phantasm, Batman Year One, Batman the Killing Joke, Batman and Harley Quinn, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, Batman Hush, Batman Soul of the Dragon, Batman the Long Halloween, and Batman the Doom that came to Gotham. Those are
Mm,
all animated films. Those are on HBO Max. If you guys got that streaming service, go watch them. Those are all
yep.
fantastic. And they're awesome graphic novels and or comic books. So if you have those, I actually own most of the graphic novel versions of those right off
Mhm,
here on the screen to me on the left. I love Batman, if you guys don't know that. And this is a cool set. I might actually
mhm.
be picking it up to myself. So it'll probably be right here somewhere. That's my Batman shelf. You see, there's my newest acquisition, my Booster Gold variant from Future State. I love
Nice.
myself some Booster Gold. He's the greatest hero you've never heard of. But let's keep the show rolling, folks. With Icon Film Distribution, they are releasing Unlawful Entry from 1992, directed by Jonathan Kaplan. I've never seen that movie. Paul, have you seen that movie?
No, is that are we talking the Kurt Russell film? Is
Yeah.
that Unlawful Entry? Yeah, no, I think I have seen it a long time
Oh,
ago on
okay.
VHS. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I can't remember too much about it, but again, I do love seeing all these old '90s films, '80s films come into 4K or getting really good Blu-ray releases.
Well, I will let you finish things up, Paul. Take it away.
Kino Lorber. So we have three new releases to talk about from Kino Lorber. UFO Warrior from 1985 is getting a 4K release. Do you know much about that one? No, it sounds kind of like a UFO conspiracy thing in my
Euphoria,
mind.
I believe that has Harry Dean Stanton in it, of all
Oh,
things.
okay.
Just
Oh,
thinking in my head here.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Chains of Gold from 1991 is coming in September, on September the
Mhm.
3rd. And The Radioland Murders, again from 1994, is coming out from Kino Lorber. So three
Yeah.
movies from the 80s and 90s. Yeah,
Check them
what's
out.
more to say on those? I
Go
don't think I've
blind,
seen
buy them
any
all.
of those, but Kino
Yeah.
Lorber, well, we all know they all do a great job with their releases, so I'll be keeping my eyes peeled on those for sure.
I got a lot of Kino stuff these days. It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Hmm.
They have a lot of Andrei Tarkovsky stuff, like a handful of his films, like The
Right,
Sacrifice and
right.
Nostalgia.
Hmm.
And Sacrifice is premium shit. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next thing, the next part of the podcast. Now in theaters. Paul, directed
Yeah,
by Oz
okay.
Perkins.
Yep, Long Legs.
Yes.
So again, something else that is creating so much buzz at the moment. Everyone is talking about this film online. It's got
I heard
Nicolas
it's
Cage in it as
overrated
well.
though.
Really?
Yeah, I heard don't
That,
believe the hype.
that kind of happens when it gets such a huge buzz, I reckon, online,
Hmm.
doesn't it? You kind of think, okay, maybe this is overrated, but it's good to see a Nick Cage film doing really well.
Hmm.
He's done a lot of straight to video, low budget,
And the
etc.
fucking
stuff
son of
recently.
Anthony Perkins making a fucking horror movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
When I first heard about this, I thought it was going to be about spiders because obviously long legs, daddy long legs. I thought it was going to be something like that, but obviously no, it's not, is it? It's about a serial killer.
Yes.
Yeah, relationship with a serial
I think
killer.
it's
So
Nick Cage plays like a woman or some shit.
I don't
I don't
know. I
know.
know he's in it. I know he's in it. But that one is doing big business at the moment. I think it was a fairly low budget film, and it's smashing the box office right now. So look out for Long Legs too, I guess. We also have Touch in the cinema, and I've completely forgot what that is. Do you know what that one is?
Fucking A, I don't know.
Fuck knows. Touch is now in cinemas or theaters. Fly Me to the Moon. So I know about this one. This is
Mhm.
based on the Apollo, the
Yeah,
Apollo
this is a
11,
true
wasn't it?
story. It's
True
about them
story, yeah, based on
actually
true story.
filming the moon landing instead of actually doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a
Stanley
true
Kubrick
story
was
around that.
involved. Yeah,
Hmm.
it actually
Yeah,
happened.
so
We didn't go to the moon. Shocker,
yeah.
folks.
Didn't they like film what in case they didn't make it to the moon? They
Oh,
wanted to
I don't
film.
know. I just firmly believe that they hired Stanley Kubrick and faked the whole damn thing
Right.
because I just
Uh,
really don't believe that in the 60s we live streamed something like that. But what do I know?
right, right. Who knows? It looks good though. Look, it's a big release. Next up, we have The Inheritance. Now, I watched the
Mm.
trailer for this one. This looks cool. It's a millionaire in his mansion. He invites all of his kids or people that are going to inherit his money when he dies to his mansion, and he announces to them that someone's out to kill him that night. And he challenges everyone in the room to save him. If they can save his life, then they keep their inheritance. So it looks like a kind of murder mystery, whodunit kind of thing. The cool thing about it for me is like the old guy in it, is played by the old guy from Dead Silence, which is one of my favorite horror films of the last 20, 30 years. It's the guy, I can't say about revealing a massive spoiler, but it's the main guy's dad from that movie. He's super creepy in Dead Silence. He looks kind of creepy in this as well. But yeah, it looks kind of like a murder mystery set in like a big mansion. It looks interesting.
Mm.
Next up, I hope I pronounced this one right, The Vordelak. And the trailer for this looks really good.
Mm.
This is like a French vampire movie. Looks
Oh.
looks very gothic, set in gothic times. Um, yeah, what more is there to say? It looks good. It's kind of gives me Nosferatu vibes if you see the trailer for this one.
Mhm.
I'll definitely be checking this one out. I'm not sure it's getting a release in the cinema in the UK, but either way, I'll catch it on streaming as soon as it's out available because it looks cool. Anything gothic, anything vampire, I'm all for it. I want to see it.
there's a
Yeah.
couple things we don't have listed, like the movie
Hmm.
Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot, which I believe is a true story and it
All
has
right.
like limited screenings, but I've heard really, really good reviews.
Hmm.
Also, Horizon, an American Saga Chapter 1 has
Oh
limited
yeah.
screenings as well, and it's out
We,
now.
yeah, yeah. That's tanked, isn't it?
Has
The
it?
Yeah, that's the
Really?
Kevin Costner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did mention that one last time.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, yeah, but obviously, yeah, I know it's tanked because I think from what I've read online, they're now going to pull part two from a cinema release.
Oh, that sucks for
Yeah,
Costner.
yeah, and he Costner put a lot of his own money into that film.
Mm.
The only way to get it made was to plow millions of his own money into it, and yeah, now that's happened. So I
Yep,
kind of feel bad
as
because
we all wait for Metropolis to release.
exactly, yeah. I mean, I thought the trailers look good for that film as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad. The last one I got down on the list is Lumina,
Mhm.
which I don't know too much about, but the trailer doesn't give too much away either. It's kind of some monster movie um, set in the Sahara Desert. There's various teaser trailers out there, but it looks interesting. It looks cool. So yeah, I forgot to mention Project Silence as well. I think I must have skipped that on the list. Project Silence is limited release in cinemas now. That is a Korean horror movie. Again, the trailer looks super cool. Kind of reminded me of The Mist.
Mhm.
It's all these people on a bridge which is full of mist and they're trapped, and some kind of government experiment of monsters escapes, and they look like killer dogs
Oh.
attacking people in the mist. So it looks good. It looks good. So yeah, there is a lot out in the cinemas this week.
So, in other news, the trailer for Diener 89 came out. And that looked pretty
Hmm.
fucking wild,
It
huh?
looks cool, man. Yeah, that just came out of nowhere as well. So I didn't know any backstory to that, but the trailer came up on my news feed. I watched it and I was like, huh, color me very interested. That looks super
It's different.
cool. Apparently, the main guy from it he's been in a couple of films already. It's the I forgot. It's a Canadian movie. Kind of gave me Trick or Treat vibes
Oh.
from the trailer. He's like a Dina is a guy in the 80s. He was like a hockey player, and he turns out to be a big metalhead. He finds his dad's old move. His dad leaves him like a case full of not movies, vinyl records, and it's all like Satan, and yeah, it's very much that. And he becomes like a local hero. Um, so yeah, that looks interesting. It looks really cool. Again, you got that Stranger Thing vibes with the whole 80s throwback. So yeah, looks interesting to me. Janus Films restores Time Masters from 1982. What is this, CJ?
Fuck, I don't know, man. Normally, whenever they do that, that means Criterion's getting a new disc soon.
Cool. Okay.
So,
What?
yeah, watch for that.
Yeah, yeah. And talking of watching,
Yes.
Watchmen Chapter One is coming to VOD on August the 13th.
So, folks,
Yeah,
to
here we
be
go.
clear, this is not a recreation of Zack Snyder's film. Zack Snyder's film is an adaptation and a condensation of the Watchmen graphic novel.
Mhm,
I like Zack Snyder's film. I think it's a fucking masterpiece. Now, as you've seen here, it's labeled Chapter 1. I think this might be one of three. So, this is going to be a direct adaptation of the graphic novel into animation form. So, it's going to include all the things that Zack Snyder's movie left out, which is actually a lot of fucking shit if people actually sit down and read. And the
mhm.
story kind of changes a little bit. So, this, I think, is going to be a lot cooler and a lot more fun to watch, especially if you're a big fan of the graphic novel, as myself. I think
Mhm,
the Watchmen are one of the coolest stories in the whole DC universe, and I like to see this property being used more. I didn't watch the TV show because I read negative reviews. I might watch it in the future just to go back, but I know that it kind of changes some things. So I don't know. If you folks have watched the Watchmen series, let me know, and I
mhm.
might go watch it.
My experience of Watchmen is literally just a Zack Snyder movie,
Mhm.
which I thought was amazing. So
Oh,
I'll probably give that a watch because I know you
mhm.
rave about Watchmen, the graphic novel. So yeah, it sounds good. We have some sad news as well this week. Shelley Duvall sadly passed away.
Mhm.
Um, Again, that created a lot of talk online. I know there's been a lot of talk about her mental health and things like that. But I think it was all her death was unrelated to anything like that.
Diabetes was her cause of death.
Yeah. So I've actually seen a couple of documentaries and stuff about her. Apparently, it was kind of all overplayed, the whole mental health. I think a lot of people said that, got the impression that after she did The Shining, it kind of freaked her out a bit. She was put under a lot of pressure on that film with Stanley Kubrick, but I don't think that was really the truth. I think it was more she just turned her back on Hollywood eventually, during the late 90s, I think it was, and she moved away from Hollywood. She moved from Hollywood to Texas, is where she is originally from, and kind of lived her life out quietly. I know there's so much stuff about her appearance. It happens as soon as people get old, man. People get old, they look different, and obviously where she stepped out of the Hollywood high life, or not the high life, she stepped out of the Hollywood light, and then she's going to change. She doesn't keep her looks up. She doesn't do plastic surgery and all that stuff. So she's a real genuine nice person. So yeah, kind of sad to see her pass away. She's not only known for The Shining either. I mean, she was in
Olive
one of the
oil.
yeah, but also I was going to say she's in one of the greatest films of all time, GTA, Suburban Commando.
Ah, yes.
With Hulk Hogan. So yeah, it's real sad that she passed away. But also this week, Richard Simmons passed away.
Mhm.
Probably much better known in America than he is in the UK.
Now the question is,
Mm-hmm.
will they now do the biopic on him?
More than likely, I would
And
say.
it will be Pauly Shore.
Yeah, if he does live. Yeah, I saw memes already with pictures of Pauly Shore and Richard Simmons RIP, like you see, unfortunately, as soon as people pass away nowadays. But yeah, some sad news there on our movie to end our movie news.
Moving on to recommendation of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So first, here's my recommendation. It's the Guyver, that Unearthed Films release. That movie kicks ass. I watched it again.
Oh yes.
And that restoration is premium. The special features are premium.
Yep.
I hope they do Dark Hero, because this film is a fucking classic.
It's incredible. It's an incredible film. Incredible film. And I've also found out online that the Blu-ray is multi-region or region free.
Oh.
So it will play in the UK. I almost grabbed the 4K copy from eBay. I got sniped at the last minute. I didn't want to overpay on it. Obviously, in the UK for any American release, we do have to overpay. But I was sniped at the last minute, so I'm still holding out to get a copy soon. But yeah, there's a 4K release and there's a Blu-ray release, and apparently the Blu-ray is region free. And yeah, it's stacked full of extras, and it is the director's cut, isn't it? The uncut version with the added gore. Which the first time you see that, it's kind of surprising, because the version I was used to back on video was nowhere near as dark as what it is like with this added gore, like the head crushing.
I remember watching it as a kid and not being as wacky.
Yeah.
And then like
Oh,
this
no.
is now
It's
watching it, I'm
definitely
like,
wacky.
ah.
It reminds me of Tammy and the T-Rex.
Yes.
Obviously, when that came out, that was like just a wacky film. And now, then in recent years, we've had the uncut version, which has got
Has
proper
the
gore added.
testicular standoff.
Yeah, it has that, and it has the gores added in as well. It just almost makes it a completely different film. It's crazy. So, but it's so good to see these extended versions coming out.
Paul?
My recommendation of the week. So this is one of my all-time favorite films. It's the movie Troll from 1986, directed by John Buechler. I could talk about this film for days, forever. But this particular release, we did mention in a previous episode. This is the German media book from Retro Gold FE. As you probably remember, I pre-ordered this the minute it was announced. Again, there was like 5-6 covers. The first time Troll's got its own its own release by itself, rather than being bundled with Troll 2. But my copy finally came in this week. The media book is gorgeous. It's a padded media book. It's premium, and the disc has English language on it. So after I pre-ordered it, I realized there was no English language option on the specs on their website, but it 100% has an English language
Cool.
option. So they've also got that wrong. It still shows on the website now that it's Italian and German only, but it's not. It's English and German. So maybe they got confused because the film was half Italian, half American. It was filmed in Italy. So yeah, it's a glorious release. It looks, the transfer is great, but the more than anything, the packaging is incredible. Unfortunately, the extras are very sparse. There was just a trailer, but I would never not recommend this film. So yeah, and it's probably, it might be cheaper for guys listening to this to pick up the Scream Factory release, the Shout Factory release. That's out of print now, I think, but you see it on eBay a lot. But that does come with some good extras. So whatever release you can grab, I highly recommend this movie.
Awesome. So that concludes our recommendations of the week.
Yes.
So next episode, we are doing, as we mentioned in our previous review, 2000's Chasing Sleep, one of my favorite films, one that I think is highly underrated, not talked about enough, deserves the Blu-ray release. And Jeff Daniels, goddamn, people need to talk about him more. He has such range as an actor, and this movie proves it, and we will talk about that on the next episode. Paul?
I was going to say, I'm a little bit scared. You know, I saw the TV Glow, that was dark. Then we did Good Boy, that was dark. And then you recommend this one now, and I'm just got a feeling we're going down a real dark path.
This is darker than Good Boy.
Oh boy.
In the sense of your head, like it's a mind fuck. Yeah, like the best way I describe this movie is it's a Lynchian mind fuck. And it dips into mental health in ways that no other movie does, and addresses this weird sleep thing that I've experienced before, but you'll see firsthand that it's portrayed visually, and it's fucking terrifying. Anyway, I do want to address something at the end of the show. Project Louder is undergoing some changes. We're staying. Rants from the Black Lodge is staying. The TJ Bowser Power Hour is staying, obviously. Hypodermic is still on hiatus until Nick Benson finds himself in a better situation to then do the show. Rabbit Hole is on hiatus as Mick Strawn is busy and his career has picked back up again, and we are very happy for him. But things and new shows will be coming. I am in talks with some familiar faces you guys have seen on the network before to reboot some old ideas and to start new ones. We will be moving forward with collaboration in mind. So we will be partnering with other podcasts and other networks to bring you some pretty fun content. Paul and I will be producing some more video content and be working on some projects in the very near future. And we'll have some very, very exciting news soon for everybody. We're very excited for the opportunity that was presented to us earlier this year. We don't talk about it publicly because we're not allowed to, but I will have to say that it is a dream come true for both of us. And the fact that we got to work with who we got to work with, and especially me for the second time, it's cool shit, man. It's cool fucking shit. And we are just beyond enamored and lucky to have had these opportunities. And Project Louder's coming up on its 7th year. And I'm happy to the 250,000 people that listen to us still a month. It's appreciated. I appreciate every single one of the content creators that have helped us get to where we are in the last 7 years, whether that be back when we were just a Star Wars podcasting group to where we are now. Thank you for all the time, the dedication, and the help that led us to where we are. It's been a wild fucking ride, and I'm excited to see where some of the podcasts that have moved on and going off on their own, where those will go, because Project Louder since the beginning has been a place for content creators to find a start. Some of us stay because we have like-minded ideas, and we think that Project Louder is where we can use those ideas to help new and upcoming content creators. So whole idea was to start people off and then let them go on and prosper on their own. This has been something that I've always had in my mind, and I eventually want to get Project Louder to a point where we can make monthly donations to charities and get things back on track to what my original vision was. It's about collaboration. It's about helping those in need. And it's about talking about the arts, whether that be films, whether that be painting, photography, anything you're into. I want to keep doing that on this network. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Celluloid Psychosis. I'm your host, TJ Bowser. That's the very handsome Paul Ashford. We'll see you on the next one.